What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we'll be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Stellar, Lumens to US dollar. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, as well as leave a giant thumbs up. We are almost at 4K, so I am very grateful for that. I appreciate all those who have subscribed. Thank you for watching these videos. Otherwise, I would like to talk about what is currently happening within the market right now. We see Stellar Lumens shooting to a very, very, very high point on the coin market cap. You can see right here, it bumped Litecoin back into the number 7 spot and is now holding number 6. So I would like to talk a little bit about that and then do some technical analysis at the end. So let's just jump right into that. I do have an article posted by the dailyhodl.com. As you can see, it says cryptocurrency Stellar shoots past Litecoin on string of announcements. So basically, this is just talking about Stellar's new partnerships and why exactly it shot up in all the news. So it says Stellar, the blockchain-based platform, is connecting with banks, so similar to other currencies that we've had in the past, payment systems, and people to move money quickly around the globe. It is now officially approved by the Islamic financial institutions. So I'm seeing a lot of Stellar in other areas of the world, not mainly in the United States or the UK. You can see how it says that the Stellar Foundation received a Sharia compliance certification, making it the first distributed ledger technology to gain approval by the Sharia Review Bureau, SRB, a leading international advisory agency. Central Bank of Bahrain, so definitely some out-of-the-country trading. The certification means Stellar ecosystem can expand into regions that require compliance with the Islamic financing principles. It can now incorporate financial institutions like Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Malaysia. So definitely targeting a different audience of people. I originally thought that wasn't the right way to go around these things, but now that I think about it, they do have a bigger population overall, and it might be smart to target those regions to get a lot more clout, I guess you could say, and it seems like it's working clearly. If we continue down in the article, it says it is now the 7th largest crypto with the market cap, and I don't even think it's the 7th, I think it's the 6th. You could see, yeah, the 6th, so this must be a little bit caught behind. Currently the 7th largest cryptocurrency, market cap of 5.7 billion, and it surpassed Litecoin with a market cap of 5 billion. So it's in the 6th spot, not the 7th. Stellar just announced a collaboration with a tech giant, IBM, and financial services institution Stronghold, which has the only trading platform and crypto exchange built on the Stellar network that settles in the US dollar. So that's pretty cool too. So those are pretty much just the background information for why exactly Stellar decided to shoot up in price. Now, this is a coin I do recommend having in your portfolio. Definitely a diverse portfolio at that. I guess let's jump right into Stellar. We'll review Stellar since that's why you guys are all here. And honestly, guys, I'm just looking at the chart right now, and this movement does not seem to be as... I don't think it needs to be this overhyped as it seems to be being portrayed in the media. You can see how Stellar had 2 downtrends right here was the first one, and then it had a second... Either we could attach it there. I'm going to attach it right here. So we had a first downtrend, popped up when we reached the high-low MMA, that bounced right there. And then you can see again when we came lower down, we just kind of went back up to that high-low MMA. Now, something that I really want to point out in terms of Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum is you can see that on this downtrend, look where it decided to go down to. That high-low MMA. And that's why I like to point out, guys, this is a very strong support area. It can be, or a very strong resistance. So the fact that we went back down to that high-low MMA and shot up off of that can happen in other cryptos too. I just want to show you, like, if we look at Bitcoin on the weekly scale, you can see how, I believe it's the weekly, yeah, you can see what is happening here, and it's very similar to Stellar. So for those of you who are appreciative that Stellar broke out, you can see how with Bitcoin, we shot up way away from the high-low MMA, similar to Stellar, which was high away from the MMA. And then you can see Bitcoin retraced back down, is retesting its high-low MMA, and is now bouncing up off of it, similar to the fact that Stellar is now was retesting its high-low MMA and then bounced up off of it. Very, 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 very similar. That's why I'm saying this is why we're seeing that uptrend now on Bitcoin, because we finally came back down to an area of support for its 30 and 100-day MMAs, middle moving averages for those who are new to the channel. So you can see that bounce up off of there is happening with Bitcoin, and that's why I do anticipate that this bear market may be over for the long term. I'd like to say for right now. I think we finally, after like 7 or 8 months of consolidation, have broken out of that downtrend and are continuing to finally move up off that. If we can see a nice bounce like Stellar had off of its high-low MMA, I'm sure a lot of you guys would be very appreciative. But you can also see how it acted as support here. Unfortunately, a downtrend was in the market right now at this price level. You can see the resistance it's faced. It broke down. And honestly, guys, the price literally just caught back up, as you can see right here. Let me just add in that RSI. You can see that we were pretty low. We were retesting an area of support. You know, you can see that this is the support line for Stellar. This is Kraken, for you guys who aren't familiar with that exchange. This is Kraken. It's a pretty good exchange, I believe, in the UK, but no, I think it's the UK. Otherwise, it's in the more Asian cultures. They like to trade on this. But you can see how in the downtrend, it literally just went back down to support. So this is a very strong support level. And also something that I want to point out, which kind of, besides that news, it's very interesting that the news comes out the same time the market decides to double bottom. But basically, if you guys saw it, we had 1 and then 2. It's a double bottom at that. Like, this is a beautiful reason to see that movement up, 1 and 2 double bottoms. And you can see in Litecoin we had something similar, 1 and then 2 double bottoms. I'll draw it on here. So we have this first one and the second one. Very, again, similar to Stellar. And, you know, for those of you, I read the comments who were saying, oh, is this an issue for people holding on to Litecoin? Is Litecoin now being I guess harassed? I don't know if that's the right word. Is Litecoin being affected by this? Should we worry? I say no to that, because look, you can see the double bottom and you can see the bounce up off of support right there and kind of went back up to that high-low MMA. And honestly, I do think we're going to come back down to retest that, but not at this very moment. You can see how Litecoin literally just started its double bottom, and guess what? The chart does look very similar to Stellar in the fact that we did have the double bottom and we went back up to its high-low MMA. And you can see Litecoin had its double bottom, and I do believe it's going to run back up to its high-low MMA at around 120 very soon. So be aware of that. I do want you guys to pay attention to the fact that these are very similar charts, and this could basically be foreshadowing what is going to happen with Litecoin. I want to like compare these charts. You can see how 1, 2 double bottom and a 1, 2 double bottom, and this is the start of the uptrend for Litecoin, and this is the completed uptrend for Stellar. Now, what I want to point out with Stellar, there's a way to kind of track how high and low this coin was going to move. You can see if we take the bottom and we kind of put it up to where it dropped from, which this is about a 70% run. You can see how the fact that we fell this low and we double bottomed, it meant we were going to go up that high. So that's about a 70% push within Stellar. And if we look at Litecoin right now, we can kind of do the exact same analysis. Take the price range from right about here, move it up to where either we can use the breakout from here. It's interesting. We can use this one, and that's probably what I'm going to use, and move this over. You can see that price level gives us, let's move this right here, just draw this out, in this region right here, around a 67% jump, leaving the price at around 124. So it is almost very similar to Stellar in the fact that they both had the double bottom. They had around a 70% downfall. Same thing here, around a 70% pullback or bottom. Right here is one. Litecoin also had that same downtrend. These charts are very, very, very similar. So the fact that we saw that bump in Stellar, maybe Litecoin's just a late bloomer, and we're going to see that move back up to around that 125 region very soon. So I don't think it's a problem that Stellar is only, let's see, in the 6th spot, and Litecoin is now in the 7th. I don't think it's an issue that we fell below it. We're only about $600 million off from their market cap, which is honestly not much in the slightest, considering I've seen Litecoin, I think, over 8 million not too long ago. So it's nothing that I would be worried about in the slightest. I really want to stress that. But let's just jump on to Bitcoin, and then we'll wrap things up with Ethereum. But basically, like I said with Bitcoin, you can see how the high-low MMA is a very strong area of support. And I just wanted to wrap in. The reason I think Stellar is going to pull back down to its high-low MMA is because it is entering an overbought region, which is not sustainable for this market. So I do anticipate a pullback, mainly down to its most recent support, which would be right here in this region. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this kind of move a little bit back down into a more sustainable region for Stellar. But to continue with Bitcoin, you can see how Bitcoin is in a very, 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 very good position. And I do think we're headed to see some very nice higher highs very soon. We're setting some higher lows, which is very good to see. And the reason being is because on this weekly chart, which is probably the best one to look at, you can see after all of the correction that we had from just mooning in 2017, we're finally retesting an area of a more sustainable level. You can see how when we were in these $20,000 regions, we were extremely, I really want to stress that, extremely overbought. And the fact that we finally pulled back down to a region of sustainable growth, we can just see a very nice rise in the currency. It wouldn't harm anyone if we just went like this, you know? It's very easy to $12,000, pretty much doubling its price cap right now, its market cap. And if we decided to just go parallel and go straight up, it's very sustainable now that the market is back down to a region of around 47%, less than half of what it was before. So definitely a good pullback in my mind, a nice correction, not a bubble in the slightest, I don't think. But you can see how we're finally bouncing off this support, and I'm not surprised that we are, only because we have not tested this support line in so long. It has been months since the last time we were down nearing that area. Last time we were down there was in the beginning of 2017, and we're finally coming back down kind of towards the end of 2018. So a year's difference is a pretty big one. So usually when we retest these areas, we tend to just pop up off here, whether it's going to be a smaller low, bringing us up to like 15K, it's very possible, or we're just going to go parabolic and go much higher than 20K, or not go right back up to 20K in the near future. So I don't think there's any worry with that. I believe if you guys are new to crypto, just hold on to your coins, put it under your pillow, and just let it grow overnight. This is not a way to make money in a day or two. I know it's possible, but if you just let it sit, kind of like you would with stocks, you could definitely wake up to a nice rainy day fund in a year or two. 100%. I just wanted to show this charts to kind of reassure you guys that we are headed in a better area right now, and I do think it is a really good buying opportunity to be holding on to Bitcoin at this level. The fact that it is below 10K, you can see where Bitcoin is facing some resistance at the moment, doing very well at that though. You can see how Litecoin kind of, if we go to the 4-hour, hit, it's daily. We kind of hit resistance right at around $94 and kind of fell right back down right off of that. But notice on Bitcoin, it is still holding this level very strong. You can see the resistance at around $7,500, but it is holding $7,500 very strong, and we're not seeing that pullback yet. Although we are entering, or going to enter, an overbought region very soon. If we just consolidate for a little bit and then pop above this high-low MMA, it would definitely help the currency out. But you can see the resistance, not only the green band, but the white down line of resistance as well, pushing this currency down. So it is definitely hitting a very strong resistance level. You can see how many times it has used this. You can see the double bottom it had right here before shooting up, and now you can see its reverse head and shoulders inverse pattern, and we went right back up to the area where it started from. So same thing with Litecoin and Stellar. You would take the price range, start it from the bottom, move it up to the top, and you can see that this is around a 32% jump. And basically breaking that reverse head and shoulders, that's the level it was going to go back up to, give or take a few percentages. But it definitely looks nice in my mind. I do think we played this out very, very textbook in my opinion. Looking at Ethereum right now, like I called it yesterday and the day before, I anticipated that we were going to go back down to retest the top of this high-low MMA. I do believe it should hold true and hold strong. The fact that we saw this reverse on the high-low MMA, the green band coming over the red band, is a very good indicator that it should hold this level quite nicely. The fact that we just broke above. There was a pullback due to the fact that we were in an overbought region. You can see the double top right here, the 1 and 2 on the stock RSI, or the relative strength indicator. And a pullback was needed. Nice to see that we are using the high-low MMA as support, which is what was predicted. And you can also see that that is a huge line of resistance, and support as well right here. It cuts right through. You can see all of that kind of just congestion in that market right there. It adds a line of support. So the fact that we are coming back down here, I do anticipate like a pop or a bounce right back up, retesting its area of resistance at the top here. But that's going to sum up the video for today, guys. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow.